Why did the shaft drive disappear from motorcycles that were middleweights? You know, I think that's kind of a very good question, because there is a demand for shaft-driven, belt-driven bikes that are like 500 to like 700 cc's, but you don't see that. And the only time you see it is used bikes from the 80s. So they do have the technology and they had the demand at that time for shaft-driven bikes, but all of a sudden, I think it was starting in the 90s, they removed the shaft drive options from bikes, and they're like, we are gonna go with the chain-driven bikes. With the chain-driven stuff, I think the reason is because it's easily mass-produced, and with competition you basically can get the most for your money with the chain-driven bikes. They're easy to build, they are efficient, they are cheap, they are durable, they're less complex. But there's something about the chain-driven bikes that I don't like, and a lot of it has to do with the ability of just touring and not having to worry about any possible things that could go wrong. Like if you do like long rides on a motorcycle, then the thing that you'll realize is that, man, you do 10,000 miles, you might have to change your chain, because when you're putting like a lot of miles on a bike, I'm just gonna go this way, you put a lot of miles on a chain-driven motorcycle on a tour, you're riding across whatever continent, you're gonna have to stop and change it a little bit sooner than you'd expect, because when you're putting like 600 miles every single day, like I was doing, I mean, for me, the riding is the activity that I like. You know, I like sightseeing, but I like sightseeing while I'm riding. It's like a Moto Guzzi of a Honda, 500cc like this one, with a shaft drive. And the only other option is a few other ones, Silver Wings, GL 500s. But this Ascot, I came about it by mistake, because I was like, there's got to be some other bikes that Honda made that had shaft drives. And I saw that they made this for like 2 years. I was very curious, and I found a couple were really beat up, but I found this one in Alexandria. A guy was selling it pretty cheap, so I went there, bought it, and it needed a lot of work. I fixed it. But I think this one's got some Achilles heels as far as like bikes. This is definitely like a bike for people who like very short riding. That was nice of her. Thank you, lady. I waved. Thanks. That was nice. Now with these classic bikes, man, you have to get on the maintenance. Even though it's a Honda, and it still rides a lot better than many motorcycles out now, you still have to like do little things here and there. Like things that I don't understand is that, why is my temperature gauge not working? All of a sudden it's not working. Could it be a fuse? Usually it's like weird electrical problems, but the entire bike is working. But there's like a little bit of a stumbling sometimes, and I can't ever figure out why it's stumbling. But the bike itself rides, and that's the thing, it seems to ride better with the heat. Well, should you get a Honda Ascot? Well, of course you should, if you're a fan of classics. But this is a rare bike, and you just can't get these anywhere. Even if you find the Honda Ascot, most likely it's going to be ruined, because a lot of the people that bought these, they kind of bought them, let them sit, and then, I mean, this is a 30-something-year-old bike, and there's not that many parts for it around. The parts for this bike are a little bit on the expensive side because it's so rare, but I think you should be able to find these if you look. If you don't mind doing a little bit of work, kind of like what I've done to get this bike working. And you know, with this bike, you have to once in a while tweak it, but it's a Honda, and it's a very good Honda. Like, it still seems to be very solidly built. It's definitely a whole lot better than the Chinese counterparts you see. That is our short little ride on the Honda Ascot. I like this bike, and I think I'm going to keep it for a while, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys.
So where are you headed?
Aspen.
California. Beautiful.
Kind of stuck here. The cops won't bother me.